Welcome to another BTS Infotainment Telecast. Today's topic, why did I win and or lose that battle? Or mitigation, or something. Alright, so you hear people talking about mitigation or whatever, and what it comes down to is, well, why did I win this battle? Handily, I might add. And Tolstoy. I haven't been able to beat him until now, until this crew. And why is that the case? Well, the answer is officer abilities, and you know that 5 of 10, with the synergy she's set up with, has 600% of the crew health bonus to shield, deflection, armor, and dodge. Now, those three things are the components of mitigation. Part of that's coming from here. Now, this guy, his secondary, he's also adding health to all the officers of the ship, so her bonus, which is 600% of the crew's health, is drawing on that. And what does it all mean? Well, okay, just take a look right here. My Saladin shoots his Saladin, and you can see that 189,000 is mitigated, 281,000 goes to the shields, and 70,000 goes to his hull. So those first two numbers, damage dealt versus damage mitigated, that, if you divide the what's mitigated by what's dealt, you get the mitigation factor. So in this case, he's only mitigating 35% of my damage, which, as far as I can tell, is near the minimum. Mitigation is not a linear scale. It's not from 1 to 100. There's a maximum, there's a minimum. So the things you can do to improve your mitigation or decrease an opponent's mitigation are within a scale, but it still makes a huge difference. Go one line further down. His Saladin deals 682,000 damage. I mitigate 483,000 damage. Now that's mitigation of 70.9%. That's nearly 71. That's very close to the maximum mitigation you can do. And the result of this is over 7 rounds, his shields go down faster, his hull takes more damage. Now, it's true, what you're probably seeing here is in this first shot, I'm taking far more hull damage than he took from my first shot. And what happened there? Well, what he was trying to do to have an edge in the battles, he's running 2 special officers, Harrison and Uhura. And what these officers do is they're lowering what Scopely's calling, very confusingly, shield mitigation, which is something else. Now, Harrison only works on the first round, but he ignores 60% of the opponent's shield. Uhura works across the whole battle, and she's only doing 10%, but this number, this receives shield health damage number, is always 80% of the damage that's dealt that isn't mitigated, and then the remaining 20% goes to the hull, except if you're running these 2 officers. So this is dropped 30 to 32% by whatever. It lowers it. So by running Harrison, overall, the first round, my shield is only taking 32% of what's not mitigated, and the rest is going to the hull. And the rest of the time, it's 80%. That means that over the course of a 10-round battle, he's doing 24% more damage to my hull. Uhura is doing 10% every round. No special bonus for the first round, and over the course of a 10-round battle, he's doing 50% more damage to my hull. Blah, 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 blah. They work together. Running them both, the first round, my shields are only absorbing 28% of the damage that's not mitigated. Every other round, they're only absorbing 70% of the damage that's not mitigated. And overall, he's doing 70% more damage, 71% more damage to my hull than he would otherwise be doing. But it doesn't matter because I'm mitigating so much more before it even gets to that, and he's mitigating so much less. Why is his mitigation in the basement? Well, if you look at the stats of the Saladin, you can see under defense that there are these statistics for armor, shield deflection, and dodge. Those are the three components of mitigation, and dodge is the highest. Dodge is an interceptor's primary means of mitigation. And knowing this, and knowing he was coming to test cruise with me, I ran Kang, 200% of the cruise attack bonus to accuracy. Now, accuracy is what counters dodge. Shield piercing counters shield deflection, which is different than shield mitigation. Thank you for making it confusing, fuckers. And armor piercing counters armor. So armor is the primary mitigation of a battleship, shield deflection is the primary mitigation of an explorer, and dodge is the primary mitigation of an interceptor. So in this case, he's running these officers to try and counter this by working against my shield mitigation or getting more damage through to the hull, but I'm mitigating so much more first it doesn't matter. So let's take, he comes at me again. Now, different one. Fuck that. Now in this case, he's running Uhura as captain. Kelvin Uhura. Great. 2 types of mitigation and 2 types of Uhura. Thanks, Scopely. Fuck. Okay, so she's adding 70% to the ship's accuracy. So in theory, you're going to see a big boost to what he's getting past my mitigation, right? Well, curious. Well, here, okay, let's just run the math real quick. 409,622. And he dealt 578,443. So, wow, he dropped my mitigation from 70.9% to 70.8% with that boost to accuracy. Why? Because 5 of 10 is on point, and she's providing this boost to all of the mitigation factors, not just dodge, and also she's giving it such a boost that it's nearly, if not at the cap, and pulling it down a little bit with an increase to accuracy isn't going to matter. So think about that too. 600% of the crew's health bonus to shield, deflection, armor, and dodge. What's the crew's health bonus? I think they mean total health of the officers on the ship. That's, again, really fucking confusing. Yeah, total health of the officers of the ship. Okay, so here's an example of how Scopely sucks with their fucking interface. If the whole game were as well built as the battle mechanic, you wouldn't have this thing. So here, total health of the officers on the ship, but I look at it, where was I just looking at it that it was different? I'm probably going to edit this part out. Or if I don't, it'll be funny that I said I did. Jesus fucking Christ. Holy crap, somebody get me a beer. Okay. Piss horse. Yeah, 600% of the crew's health bonus to mitigation. That's wrong. That's just flat out wrong that it says it there, because the health bonus is 300%. And it's not 600% of 300%. That doesn't mean anything. What they're actually talking about here is the total health, 7236, right? But wait, this guy is increasing the health of every officer by 70%. So what do we actually have here? We have 7236 times 1.7 times 6. So that's a 73,807 she's adding to all of the mitigation stats. Let's take that in context, right? Because the math of how all these things play together is incredibly stupid and calculus, and you don't want to know. So the Saladin's intrinsic dodge is 82,000. Now we're adding 73,000 to that. and we're adding 73,000 to shield deflection, which is nothing, and we're adding 73,000 to armor, which is nothing. Like, what does that actually compare to? I have a feeling that compares pretty nicely with, well, what are these guys doing? Hey, buddies. Where are my friends? Here's a 31 Armada target, 8 million. Wow, that's a powerful target. Oh, wow. So the bonus I'm adding on top of my mitigation stats is double what this Armada target normally has. Let's go deeper. How about oh, 35? That must be pretty strong. Wow, 12 million. All right, so there you go. This is adding the mitigation stats to my Saladin of a level 35 Armada target. Now, what that means is, though, if you look at the attack stats, like this Saladin has really heavy armor pierce. That's because it's an interceptor. It's meant to go up against battleships. Battleships' primary mitigation is armor and blah, blah, blah. So when this number on the attack side starts to get over the corresponding number on the defense side, it counters that mitigation. And the result is the damage that actually gets through to start taking down the shields and damaging the hull is kind of on a sliding scale between 70 and 30%, derived from the ratio of these two numbers. So anything you're doing that is, if you have a crew that is simultaneously improving a penetration stat, such as armor pierce, shield pierce, and accuracy, while also improving a defensive stat like armor, shield defense, deflection, and dodge, you're like tipping the scales in two ways, and you're making yourself fairly insurmountable. Now, obviously, a much stronger ship is going to kill you every time, but Tolstoy's got this very powerful crew. I haven't been able to beat him with Harrison yet. He's a higher level. He's more powerful by the numbers. Here he doesn't even take my shields down. Tries a different crew. Doesn't even take my shields down. Tries a different crew. He got my shields down. That's pretty powerful. What's going on there? Probably that 90% to delay an opponent's fire by one round. Doesn't matter. I'm not digging into that now. You don't care. I don't care. What did he run here? He put Kang on there. How strong is his Kang? Also 200%. And he did some damage, but still didn't even get my shields down. Because here he's improving his piercing. Here he's improving his piercing. Here he's playing with that shield stat, because remember, the shield mitigation is not shield deflection. It's what happens after mitigation. And here he's doubly trying to improve his shield, reduce my shield mitigation, and then he is putting 200% of the crew's defense bonus to shield piercing. Is that really doing anything for him? Let's find out. So he does me 682k. I get 483 mitigated, so that's 70.925 right there. Okay, so that's pretty close to the cap. What was his next crew he ran? Alright, so no change to his piercing stats here. How much less damage was I able to mitigate, or more damage was I able to mitigate without that bonus to shield piercing? 588 to 417849. Wow. Okay. When you took Marcus and his 200% bonus of the crew's whichever stat to shield piercing, he was able to, with him, lower my mitigation from 70.94 to 70.92. So because she is doing so much to improve mitigation, this guy's big bad 200% of the crew's defense bonus is giving him a whopping 2/100ths of 1% additional damage not mitigated. Because what she is like, you don't need to run a double synergy with her, because 600% of the crew's health bonus, if the crew's health is above 7,000, is already up in the nosebleed section of mitigation, where even if I'm going to pull it down with something like somebody who's going to do shield piercing, or somebody like Kang who's going to improve accuracy. Let's look at the run he did with Kang. Alrighty then. These look like the exact same numbers. It's whatever. 577 232 2 408 698. Wow, yep, 70.8. So 1/10 of 1% he was able to improve with Kang there, because she is putting so much into mitigation that good luck. I think the only crew you can actually run against this is a stronger mitigation crew. Like if he had a really good Zhao, what does he max out at? 750%? I don't even know. Kirk Spock's Zhao, his Spock's maxed. His Kirk is the same level as mine, which is one level below max. If he was running Kirk Spock Zhao, if he was, well, okay, you're going to mitigate, I'm going to mitigate, and we'll just have a war of attrition because I've got slightly more hull than you do. That would be the only counter to it. But this crew is the best PvP crew that I've found, because it's both increasing the amount of damage that you don't take while decreasing the amount of damage they don't take. So I'm countering the opponent's mitigation while drastically improving my own. And the big takeaway from this is the way to tell why did I lose that battle is if you look at the damage dealt and the damage mitigated and how much got to the hull. That's what matters here. So he's just flat out right there taking more than double the damage to his hull every shot that I take versus every shot that he takes on me. So I hope this makes some semblance of sense. I tried to keep it short. I got a little bit in the weeds. I don't know if I'm going to add visual aids or even edit out my mistakes. So deal with it. I'm going to get another beer.